secure system integration, and conducting a wide range of security assessments such as vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. As an accomplished scholar and with his experience of more than 12 years as a professional in the industry, he will be sharing his knowledge with the curious attended of this session. Um, so, with that, I'd like to welcome engineer. With that, I'd like to warmly welcome engineer Kasun Chathuranga. Uh, Engineer Kasun Chathuranga. So, over to you, engineer Kasun.
Good afternoon. Hello, hope you can hear me. Actually, today's session as Dr. Sulochana requested, basically asked me to do about a session on the how to secure in the website. So in this session, I would like to talk about a little bit on what are the common flaws and security issues and confirm is there any problem, or you can already see my screen. Okay, I will continue. Basically, this is about the more towards to websites rather than web applications. Little bit about our organization, TechCERT, which is the one of the largest cert type. That means cybersecurity based organization. The original CERT stand for Computer Emergency Response Team. But we are evolved much more than that, and we are the leading cybersecurity service provider in Sri Lanka. So in today's focus, what we are going to do is we like to go a little bit into the backgrounds of attacks and what are the motives, risk, and attack vectors, and remediations. And at last, I will give you a summary. So before beginning all, since you told that most of you are facing exams, I'll share a little bit a good graphic of Sigiri, a beautiful fortress in Sri Lanka, to reduce your stress level a little bit and continue the session with a little bit more clean mind. So enjoy the Sigiri, but this is, we really look into the, if we are thinking about Sigiri. Sigiri has basically 3 ramparts, 2 moats. So moats mean basically water canals, which are deep, often crocodiles are put there. So King Kashyapa made this scheme as layered scheme. So any enemy who entering from the front side need to go through all these 5 obstacles. So this is a very good approach in security. Also, this is considered as one of base in designing any application or system for the information security. So we call this as a layered defense system. So we apply layered defenses in any application, any system, or any other place where the security need to be achieved. So these concepts are may not be very new things. These concepts coming from very ancient times. What we do is we understand the concept rights and apply it to uh, our day-to-day life and the cybersecurity thing. So if you are thinking about future career in cybersecurity, information security, just get the concept rights, because the other things like just to use, just to know usage of particular tool, those sort of knowledge get outdated with time to time, but the concept will remain. So that's about layered defense. Keep it in mind. It will be required in future slides. So when you go into the backgrounds and numbers, uh, basically our today topic is about website, not web applications. So website is a most likely simple web application, mostly doing the one-way type communication, not two-way, where the user inputs are often taken in, and most websites are built on with if it is based on a content management system like WordPress, Joomla, or something like that. In contrast, web applications are often made with frameworks or core languages from the scratch. So today's our topic is specifically focused on website, not web applications. So the things I discussed today are more relevant to the website. For the web application, we need to do the actually not one session. If you are thinking about securing them, it will be a whole complete course. So basically, we are focusing in website today, the security of the websites. So if we analyze the technologies which build these sort of things, so you find that there are still HTML based website are there are non-CMS. About 33% of website are based on not non-CMSs. That means either you code from your PHP or ASP language, or even in HTML. It's really good if you don't need any dynamic content, something like you need to update regularly or shows specific dynamic content. It's better to go without WordPress or even without dynamic pages like PHP or something like that. You can even use static HTML page, but you can see that market share of the website are dominated by WordPress. Then there are Drupals, Squarespace, Wix, Shopify, and Joomla. These are actually small numbers. WordPress is the most used content management system which used for website development. So the issues occurring in WordPress make huge waves in the websites and their security. So some of you may have experienced cyber attacks on the website. What happens? You may notice that website is defaced and sort of skull or some sort of message is put on the website, or they have planted an rootkit or backdoor or maybe propaganda content in the website, or sometimes it can be used for other malicious content, malicious campaigns like phishing, malware distribution, or participating in DDoS. Other than that, we have seen cryptomine operations, and some cases that they use the data stored in website and they exploit it and sell it. This special, there are two types of sensitive data which specifically attackers looking into. These are transaction data, and other thing is personally identifiable data, PIIs. So actually, uh, attackers often look whether if it is there any PII is there. If not, they try to use website for any criminal purposes. So let me something. Uh, okay, hope you can see my after attacker get into the website, most cases they have plant something called web shell. So this is actually a backdoor where the attacker can control almost all the content of the website. So this is actually a single web shell like that. With using that, attacker can run any command like just command prompt, but it's running on the website and do whatever uh, he like. So attacker like, so after an intrusion, we often see these sort of web shells are planted into the websites, and attackers are using those things. They often use some sort of naming schemes like the that which are not directly visible with only if you're considering with file names. So with using such sort of backdoor, or we call it web shell, attackers often control anything. They can upload content, they can download content or something like that. Uh, let's get back to presentation. Okay. If you take the numbers, these are the uh, numbers of the website, reported website intrusion attempts in Sri Lanka in last year. So these are only reported incidents, and these are the one with only .lk name. So uh, we think this is only tip of the iceberg, and this amount is highlighted here only represent about 20 or less than 20% of the website intrusions in Sri Lanka. And not only it's only small portion, since it represent only the .lk part. This is based on data available on the one of the forum which hackers use to glorify their hacking and do some sort of and get some sort of credit. So many of these numbers and these things will not come to the media. Only when the most cases, if it is attached to political situation or some sort of non-new, if it is coming less news time, these things will appear in news media and get some attention. Something like about in here I am mentioning that about 3 site will be compromised by for a week, but actual numbers will be 10 times or more than higher. Since some things are some things may go undetected, or in some cases they do not report, or they do not come to visibilize. They just replace the content and continue the job. If you take the risk and motives of these website attacks, first get into the what type of website attacks we have seen in last couple of years. So first thing is we have seen isolated website compromises. So only the attacker was able to deface or attack only website, and it was not spread to an other where, or it is not as directly linked to some other compromises. But in many cases, we have seen cascade compromises and attack waves. Cascade compromises means there's many websites are hosted in same server or same location, and they are not segregated in secure way, and one site got hacked, and uh, it lead to a cascade compromises, since the attacker can navigate all through the web server and get other site infected too. Other thing is attack waves. So attack waves often come with two scenarios. One thing is I previously told that the websites are often built with CMS content management systems, and these things has plugins and core bundles. So in regularly these maintainers of these systems release security updates. So these security updates are addressing security vulnerabilities which they have found in their platform. Sometimes due to such vulnerability, so actually the developers release the patch, but the speed or frequency of applying the patch may not fast as the people get to know the vulnerability and attacking. So for example, a couple of years ago, there was a problem in Joomla deserialization module written in PHP, and developers released the patch, since the many web hosting administrators did not have time to apply the patch, and the attackers use Google and try to find this specific favicon or something like that, and they try to find they figured out what are the Joomla or that CMS based site, and they basically blindly attack all those sort of websites. And the second reason is due to political reason. You may have experienced one in April, and every year we experience one in May, and there are something like due to the political reasons, there may be attack waves. And if we think about type of attackers, there are three different types. One thing is amateur hackers, and they need to just to get the glory, and the hacktivists often go after political reason. And there's a professional cyber criminals, the people who try to earn money from the cyber criminal related activities. Then the third category is state sponsored attackers. They are often backed by one country and try to attack another entity. For example, in these days, Ukraine-Russia wars, you may hear that site ABC got attacked by hackers from the country Ukraine or Russia, and often news is stating that that country is sponsoring giving the necessary resource to do such sort of things. They may not accept that claims directly, but almost all of you know what is happening behind. So if you take the Y factor, uh, basically the attack to get sensitive information and reconnaissances, phishing, malware distribution, and get income from crypto miners and all lot of things. And the last thing is used for propaganda campaigns. So if we uh, if we analyze the entry points, so these are the three uh, attack vectors which basically affecting the website. First thing is design flaws. The second thing is platform flaws. The third thing is maintenance flaws. So platform is the hosting website platform. So when we take how the distribution was of these attacks, actually maintenance flaws are the main reason for getting website compromised. Rarely we see platform flaws, and since the most websites are now built on content management systems, people rarely code on PHP or something else and put into the website. The design flaws tentatively low, but this still exists. So let's get deeper into these matters. So if we take if we take into the design flaws, it's mostly due to the if you have ever heard about the SQL injection like vulnerabilities, these are coming as a design flaw, and some set of framework you already using may involve this in also. So let's get a little deep into that. So one of major thing developers often get wrong is they try to trust, they attempt to trust user and function and user data. So basically, if there's a field where the field where task for first names, developer think the field will only send A to Z type data, but attacker may add another set of characters which may interpret as an SQL query in the server level if the necessary security filtration or security actions are not taken. So that often happens. That's how SQL injection and this sort of vulnerability cross-site scripting are existing even in current websites. Basically, for this thing, the recommendation is never trust user send data and never use blacklist or deny list, use allow list or whitelist. So that's the thing. So just doing blacklisting may not filter out or will give or may not give adequate security level. So in some cases, there are some functions which are designed for doing secure database transactions like prepared statement or something like that, but still people making SQL queries with the concatenation of the user supplied input. The result is SQL injection and whole website goes down. And the second point is people do not update their development frameworks or libraries, and they tend to use obsolete frameworks and libraries for their website. So result is there are the web software and the website, these sort of software, they are actually living things, and they have some sort of lifespan. So if someone using end of rightly reached framework, the framework developer may not provide security patch updates or other required security instructions to configure the platform or website security. The ultimate result is again the compromise in the website. So other thing is, I think we did not skip one. Okay. The security should not be a thing which burdening the users. So security should be simple, and it will not put another load to the user where the user or the web maintainer has to spend a lot of time to just to do the function. But the thing is, often adding unnecessary security functions and unnecessary security features may hinder the security state of a website. Other thing is these sort of any content or any key or anything you have used in the website should be able to update when necessary without going in very without going into the very deep understanding of the framework or in a complex scenario. So the security, basically the security functions, for example, just take the website is developed in WordPress. It is using some sort of plugin which provide user registration, and for every update of that particular plugin, the website administrator has to send an email to developer and get their approval and get their they get the update from them and install it manually. And this is actually a huge process, but same process can be available as a just click and update function in the website. So the second thing will work, but the sending emails and get the update pack and applying it, most cases it will not happen. The result is the burden which make for the security will reduce the overall security of the website. So the idea is security functions should be designed as an easy to perform task and less time consuming as possible. That's a one major thing where you need to adhere when you're designing security to any web application or website. The next thing is cryptographic schemes. So as I told you, there are some websites which often use transaction data and PII data, personally identifiable data. So in any case, if that sort of data is transmitted, stored or processed, special attention need to be done. Cases you have heard about the SSL listings, but in today's enterprise level setups, many organizations try to get rid of these actually try to break these SSL and TLS tunnels in their gateways to integration of web. There may be possibility we sort of often get into the possibility that that to the transaction data depending on and password like big script or something like that. I have met some developers encrypt the password, the one-way hash, the password because so doing cryptography in the website is not website just details and what and proper graphic. So the percent of basically happens due to the flaws in the frameworks such as PHP or hosting environment and these sort of vulnerabilities. So the major flow of major actually let's take bad practices. People are still using non-security hardening platforms to host their website. So actually for this topic only for description. So as engineers, we try to uh, uh, make our systems not as 100% hacker proof or 100% impenetrable, but we are making systems. What happens if someone get access to some part of our website? Whether that attacker can go sideways and discover more things and do more damage. So we are designing our systems to limit uh, a damage or limit the contamination if something happens. Second thing is we are always trying to make our systems uh, to make the day of the hacker more and more harder. And the third thing is we cannot make any unbreakable or unhackable sites. So what we do is we always have plans or systems may take caring what happens if an attacker trying to attack or get in. So I think if you go into the masters, Dr. Chandana has good subject on the fault tolerant computing, and there you may have chance to learn much about how the systems are designing in that sort of manner. Those principles are valid, as I told earlier. The concept are valid in almost every field. So basically, uh, in earlier I told that uh, the cascade compromises. It actually happens due to a due to the non-isolation of the compromised website. So you may heard these sort of words like cPanel hosting and these sort of things. Basically, cPanel is there to isolate. If one site got hacked, it will not affect the other site hosting the web server. And if you do the operating system level security hardening, so you may restrict administrative functions of the web server to the set of predefined people, whether it's IP based or location based or any other thing. So these sort of hardening make attack into the website or attack into the actual platform is very harder. So those are the recommended things. So security hardening the platform is a very deep topic. Uh, if anyone is interested in, I can provide additional material, but to avoid this thing go into the much deeper thing, so I'll continue from here. So basically, you need to host your website in a platform uh, which has proper security controls. It may sometimes because not your site get attacked, but due to the other's fault, if not the other's fault, your site should not be get attacked because you just hosted there. And another thing I have seen that these sort of administration portals, they do not have multi-factor authentication or just use weak password. So basically, the password shown here has special characters, capital, simple, everything, but it does not meet the entropy level of password which required as a secure password. And my organization, let's say UOM at 1234, it's not a secure password. Even it has all the required set of characters. So those things are often in top of the password guessing things. Even that, if you do not use a multi-factor authentication during phishing attack, password will taken out. And it doesn't matter what sort of complexity in the password in the phishing attack. So that's where the multi-factor authentication is coming in any portal, especially for the administration sort of activities are conducting. Multi-factor authentication is extremely necessary. So the other point is these platforms often get security updates. If you are owning or if you are controlling the maintaining the platform, you have to install the security updates as soon as the security update available and tested. And it should not take months of time to install security update. For example, Microsoft releases security updates every month, second Tuesday, and it's called Patch Tuesday. And if you are in the security stream Twitter, you may have seen that it often commits set of high-end critical vulnerabilities. But in rare cases, it hit remote code execution vulnerabilities, which does not requiring authentication in rare cases. Non-auth RC, no-auth remote code execution vulnerabilities are the most dangerous sort of vulnerability we are finding in the uh, security industry. So when you have time, try to Google for Heartbleed and PHP deserialization, not only the PHP. So you can get any deserialization vulnerability. Heartbeat and deserialization vulnerabilities are very good example for uh, platform related security issues uh, often get exploited by the attackers. So let's get into the maintenance section. So basically, maintenance flaws are the 70% and even more are the root causes of the website intrusions. This is due to the method or the things you have do uh, after deploying the website. So in in about 10 or 15 years ago, it was just people getting a website from a developer and they put into the web server and just forgot about it. But that is not the situation in current days. If you are using a website or based on the CMS, especially something like WordPress, you need to uh, care it like an infant. You just cannot give up the things and after deploying the website. So let's get into this more. As I mentioned that many CMSs and their plugins are the number one reason for website tags. It may be due to you are not applying updates to core or plugin in your website, or the website developer has downloaded that premium plugin from some sort of place and it not get updated automatically. In modern WordPress, it's possible to set the website get updated automatically, but if it is required some sort of license key or other thing which developer has and it is not given to you, then you are in trouble. So, or if you are pirated some sort of plugin. So as I mentioned earlier, its website is something like living. So you need to give some attention. You need to provide some sort of uh, lifeline for the website to live with the time to time. So this is the number one reason uh, website get hacked, and it is due to the not applying the security updates, or they do not have enough time to apply the updates, or the developer has a website which is not cannot be updated, whether only the developer has the keys and you have to put an email and get the thing, and after you get some sort of fight with the developer and you do not getting any sort of support from that. These are the things actually happened in some organization. We have seen that. This is the human factor, the, the irregular process of update, not putting the update. So sometimes even if you have license keys, everything, but the people who are updating are very extremely busy and they have many other job roles. They do not have time to update the things. So for example, for the WordPress, you need to check every week in the WordPress admin panel and pushing update. So that's a thing. So if the for proper human resource is not available, probably will get hacked. That is simple as that. Uh, just like platform administration, something like platform administrations means remote desktop, SSH, or cPanel access, or something like that. There are administration pages for the content management systems also. For example, for the Joomla slash administrator section is there. For the WordPress, WP admin section is there. These sort of administrative pages should be restricted uh, to the particular IP address, at least restricted to Sri Lanka, where the many of the attackers coming from outside. If you are not restrict such thing, often you get some sort of brute force attack who try to figure out password. And if you have a weaker password, and the attacker directly get in if there's no multi-factor authentication. So WP admin, administrator, or any administrative uh, page of and a website should be restricted and only open to people who need necessary access. Uh, this is the most interesting thing in the even not in the website or in whole information security. Some people think if you put a magic box in front of your organization or your network or your website, it will secure everything. And you have to pay huge money, and that box will secure the whole the organization plus content, everything. They have very interesting marketing videos and try to show that masked hackers and admin people often get attacked, and then after box they can detect and catch the attackers. Actually, those things happens only on the videos. In the real life, as I told earlier, the defense should be layered, and you should not depend on single box. Even if you put some sort of good intrusion prevention and intrusion detection systems, I have often see that it is not properly configured, it is not properly fine-tuned, and the people in the organization have no idea what's happening in the box and what comes in and what happened and what comes out. And they sort of magical miracle box, if you are trusting on these sort of magical miracle box, the time is near to get hacked in, because we often see that in some cases due to maintainers that these sort of magical boxes, in some case in one case it was disabled, or it was access also open to outside and the hacker got in. And in many cases, if you're taking about a little bit complex scenario like web application, where the user sends more inputs, you need to fine tune in some cases. For example, for the password field, NIST even say you can have emojis and any sort of character in password field. Even today, you can see many organizations in their website and corporate other things, they have restricting characters in passwords. Basically, they cannot do. They, it may be due either their application cannot handle the application due to what they have do is, if this character comes, it's problematic to the our application security of available or in the application level. We just remove this character entirely. Even you cannot send in the password field. These sort of malpractices are we see in today's enterprise world, but it is due to the mostly due to the uh, people are depending on miracle magic box are giving the security to an organization, not layered approach. not bottom up approach. They just need to cover up the thing with some sort of thing and with some sort of mental uh, fitness. But actually, in security, uh, late security, defense and depth, and these sort of things should come as independently. Even one layer fail. Remember the thing I showed as the beautiful Sigiri and the 5 defenses, 3 ramparts, and 2 modes which was there in ancient days also. That sort of security we should develop for the web application or for a website. So do not trust. It's okay to get a WAF and for the website, but if you're getting WAF, make it find it. For my experience, I will tell like this. For if you know about the Cloudflare of a WAF, Cloudflare WAF, and if you're hosting a website, especially WordPress site, earlier I told that block the WP admin component in the component of the public. That blocking WP admin rule is not coming as in the default rule set of the WAF of the Cloudflare web application firewall. So you have to manually enter it. If you know the thing you should not expect, and you can put it on the WAF and make it effective. But if you do not know what comes in, what is going on, and what comes out, it will not give you a security enhancement if you put a magic box. So it's okay to use WAF, but make sure it is properly configured. The almost yeah, at the almost end of our presentation, because I targeted 1 hour since the students here are facing exams. The other thing is degradation of security features. I have seen that with the time to time, sometimes people are reducing the available security features in their applications or website due to some sort of bad scenarios or some sort of unexpected scenarios. But we have also seen in such period where the security was lowered in the website or system, attackers are often getting. So you can test it in a way, not in as a web application. Just set up a Linux machine with the public IP and open the SSH port to the other world and put a password like admin and password like password and count the time to attacker get it. In most cases, within couple of hours, one person will get in. So we are in a such world uh, uh, where the attackers are often keeping eye on us. So if you put your password temporarily to ABC123, probably attacker will get in even if your website is not a well-known or not in the top in the Google search result. So in the as the almost last we are almost in the last section. So if someone is attacking to our web application or website, there should be a mechanism to send you a active it may be an email or SMS or depending on the situation. In many cases, CMSs like WordPress, Joomla, they have plugins which do this job. They just send the alert if someone is trying to brute force to your login or something in your website document root is change, some sort, if some person uploads something, and those sort of active alerting plugins are available for the websites and web applications. You need to put those into the website. And the other thing is the login. So logs are used for forensic purposes unless they are often analyzed by those sort of uh, alerting mechanism. Actually, the main purpose of logs are keeping that for the forensic purposes. But in many cases, I have seen that due to the bad configuration, the logs only have the IP addresses of the gateway or load balancer, or sometimes web4, or even some cases localhost. So those are very unfortunate situation where it became very hard to track down what was happened in the during the attack. And in some cases, we have found that attackers gain in and they just delete the logs and other than the alert, you need to uh, keep logs secure, and for the for time period which may you have required as per the organizational requirement.
Devastating floods have affected at least 33 million people. Yes, you hear it right.
Uh, so we are almost at the summary. So basically, the 70% of the website intrusions are due to the poor maintenance, and the website should be make in the way that website is upgradable in every almost every component, core plugins and whatever the things, and it's a easy to for and it should be a task which should be able to perform easily, not rather than spending days of works for the upgrading or updating thing. And the layered security is one thing you need to achieve rather than building one magical security box. And the proper risk analysis of the website, it's recommended, and the security enhancement based on it should be deployed, because the sometimes common websites, and there are some sort of high profile website often associated with political risk, and attackers may try to do various hacktivist attacks on these sort of thing. So those are that is the end of my presentation. To end, I'll end up with the Sun Tzu's quote in Art of War. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not to fear the result of 100 of battles. If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer defeat. If you know neither of enemy nor yourself, you will be succumbed in every battle. That's the basic security situation of the website also. So that's it for today from me. If you have any questions, I like to answer. And I think Tilina can help during that process also.
Yes, sir. So, guys, if you have any questions regarding today's topic and any other things about vulnerability on web access, you can raise your questions now.
Yes, sir, I have a couple of questions to ask from you. The first one is actually you mentioned that WordPress is kind of like the most used CMS out there to build static sites. So I have seen that there are many attacks coming to WordPress itself. So are those attacks targeted, or are they coming like, they are searching the whole internet for vulnerable websites? So are they targeted to general?
For the WordPress, let me go into there. So in type of attacks, I have mentioned that there are type called attack waves. Since the WordPress is the most common one, and the people are there, very large number of people are using it. But since the large number of people are using it, there are websites which are not applying security updates, or there are sites which do not build in a secure manner. That means they have used a plugin which has a very bad history. In some cases, I have seen some chat plugins in WordPress that even if it has millions of reviews, the development team has left, or the developer not actively looking into the uh, development of the plugin. So what happens is the vulnerability found in such plugins may not be patched, or even if it is patched, the website developers may not push the patch to the website. It is depending on their human resource not availability, or due to a licensing issues. So it's most likely due to the high number of WordPress usage, the most compromised website also end up in WordPress also. The reasons are those the bad plugins, non updating the website, and the plugins. And in most cases of attack waves, we have seen that attackers try to find a particular string in to fingerprint the website CMS, and they do a Google Doc and get the list of websites and plant backdoors, or their these sort of motives. Those means the exploit sensitive information, or pivot, or malware distribution, phishing, propaganda, or any of these factor. I think I answer your question.
Yes, sir. Another question, sir, that we know that WordPress is, since it's the most popular one, when we take a WordPress dashboard, I have personally seen as well this, many login attempts are there. Even the website is secure and it's working fine, many login attempts. So if by any chance the WordPress account is compromised and another party or software gets into our dashboard, so what can that person do within our WordPress site or the server to, for his advantage by getting the WordPress account, maybe a compromised password like that? Excuse me, sir, I think you are muted.
Basically, that person can upload a PHP script like this and take the complete control of the website, plus and the web server also. So this is one of such script I show as a demo. So what happens is that person can plant these sort of black door in your web server, and in many cases, I have seen that that sort of attacker will not do anything to your website, because if that attacker did some sort of modification to the current web pages, the other people will not notice. But if we silently plan this sort of thing and silently plan this sort of thing and use it for his future activities, which I have mentioned before. That is his motive, not basically the logging attempts you are getting. The reason is that your WP admin and these sort of administration pages are globally open. That's why I asked to restrict it to the predefined IP list, or at least to the Sri Lanka. Then you will see that things goes down. So that's the it's good you experience it in real life.
Sure, sir. One more question from me. That is, you mentioned that the person can get access to the WordPress site as well as to the server. That means if we are hosting our WordPress site on a cPanel like hosting system, then can that person, by getting into our WordPress installation, for example, through a compromised account, can he get into our cPanel as well, access to that cPanel as well?
If properly done, cPanel is designed to segregate this sort of website. One user account, getting one user, if for example, in cPanel, you create accounts. If you put one site for one user account, getting one site compromised will not lead to the compromisation or access of second account. The one of major design principles of cPanel is damage controlling. If one site get affected, it will not affect other site in cPanel. But if you are just using virtual hosting in Apache, in most cases almost all website document is on the www.html folder under different folders which are mapped to the different virtual host in the Apache configuration. In that sort of case, if one site get compromises, all get compromised. But in cPanel, and there are some other method to restrict these things also. In cPanel, if you have one site per one account, in most cases, if one site get compromised, it will not affect other sites. But even in cPanel, if you host a two website in one account, there's a possibility that getting both two as a cascade compromise.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
So there's a question. Are there any WordPress infections which cannot be solved? And if there's an attack on a WordPress site, how can we ensure that there's still a backdoor on that site?
So there are a couple of ways it can be implemented. In technically, we call it website file integrity monitoring. So basically, there are some plugins, or even you can write it custom as a cron job. What it does is it keep a hash of every file in your website document root, and time to time they check whether if there's new files or the hash of these files are being changed. If such hash being changed, it's probably an alert. But due to updates also, this sort of hashes are changing. But in most plugins which are available for security of the WordPress and Joomla, for Joomla, there's a Joomla security plugin separately need to be purchased, and they keep monitoring these sort of newly implanted files or appending the PHP code of bad shell to the existing file. So this sort of file file integrity monitoring scheme need to be set up depending on your risk of the website. In many cases, attackers inject these shells by exploiting a vulnerability in your WordPress, either your core or plugin, and then the attacker plant it into the WordPress root. So you can stop it from the first place, or as I told that you need to be layered defense. You need to defenses to stop it in from the first place, where you update core and use good reputed plugins which have developers live in and update the plugins. And there's a one layer. Another layer is integrity monitoring. And if you need another layer, you can put some sort of web application firewall or something like WordFence, like plugin for the WordPress installation. Those sort of plugin provides some sort of security by doing these sort of blocking, integrity monitoring, and all sort of things.
Sure, sir. One additional question regarding that question. So you mentioned about the www folder. So has the attacker has access to that specific folder only, or all the folders in that server? That means, can he have some backup scripts as well? So if we delete all those folders, can we 100% ensure there is no more backdoors? Because I saw that on an online article saying like that.
The thing is this, the website requested to run as a separate limited privilege user call. In this case, let me show that. In this case, okay, if you can see that this who am I command response as Apache. So basically, this is the default installation of the Rocky Linux 9, which is the Red Hat 9 CentOS 19, and it does not run as the root user. If the web server run as the root user, any attack on the website will give access of the root user to the attacker. In this case, where the places of Apache user can access can be accessed by the attacker. In many cases, in default installation of the Apache, user is limited. He can access to the password file, not the shadow file. But if the website, in some cases, I have seen some deployment people are running the web server as root, and if something got injected, that shell or that attacker gets root access. But in here, only the Apache. But if your backup script are in the web root directory and the backups are all in the same directory, the attacker may have chance to whether delete these sort of things or inject malicious code into the archives to further propagate the actions. All depend on what sort of threat profile the website has. So that's the thing.
Guys, if you have any more questions, you can ask. Seems like no more questions coming in. So I think we can wind up the session. Thank you, Engineer Kasun, for joining with us.
Okay. Okay.
And
Thank you.
thank you
Thank
for
you.
the simple and informative slides and your experience-rich talk as well. And thank you everyone for joining with us. And thank you, Dr. Sulochana and Dr. Chandana for joining with us. Uh, Thank you again for knowledge-rich talk and sharing your experience with us. Thank you, Doctor. Sorry, thank you, Engineer Kasim.
Okay. Thank you. Just remember the Sigiriya and the ancient layered defense. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Can I quick wind up the session?